Wow, this isn't something I thought U.S. spokespeople would be questioned about, but a journalist is asking if a U.S. spokesperson about the IDF's or the Israeli government's Hannibal Directive, which allows IDF members to kill either IDF soldiers or Israeli citizens if they end up being kidnapped or held hostage by um, enemy groups of the Israeli government. And the guy claims he has no idea what the Hannibal Directive is, which, if you don't know what it is, then you're a pretty bad government official.
Thank you. Thank you. Couple questions, if I could. It's been a while. The U.S. vetoed multiple UN Security Council resolutions for ceasefire over the last several months, of course, but finally drafted one itself, which claimed that Israel had accepted the ceasefire. You say that they did. Other people don't see it that way. My question is about the timing. It came just after the latest orders from the International Court of Justice. On May 24th, they ordered Israel to not invade Rafah. And they stipulated that the invasion had in fact started on May 7th. Was that the actual purpose of the U.S. backing that resolution at that time in order to forestall the UN Security Council doing its normal job of instituting the Security Council,
No, it was not.
the ICJ orders?
No, it was not. Our purpose in backing that resolution is we saw Israel put forward a proposal that we thought offered a real chance for not only a ceasefire, but an enduring end to the conflict that would return the hostages home to be reunited with their families, that would alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people, that would set the conditions potentially for lasting peace. And we thought it was important that the entire world rally around that proposal, and that's why we put that resolution forward.
You talk about the hostages. Israel has a Hannibal Directive in which it has orders in place to kill at least its own soldiers, lest they fall into the hands of Palestinian groups. And there's substantial reporting that in fact, was utilized on October 7th, not just against Israeli soldiers, but against civilians.
Yeah, there's a number of people that are speculating that the Israeli government killed a number of their own people in the firefight with Hamas on October 7th, and then blame that on Hamas. It, what, they claim like 14,000 or 1,400 people died on October 7th, and then eventually uh, went back and said it was only 1,200 that was killed by Hamas. That's probably because, they kind of had to admit that a number of their own people were killed by the IDF. Um, if you don't know what the Hannibal Directive is, do a Google search on the internet, and you'll be able to find it on Wikipedia. It is something that the Israeli government has had for a while, and it just proves that the Israeli government doesn't actually care about their own people if they're willing to kill their hostages.
Are we not now in a situation where Israel may be using the Hannibal Directive, not just on Israelis, civilians and military, but on U.S. citizens and other foreign nationals?
So I am not familiar in any way with either that supposed directive or those reports. And so
you've never heard of the Hannibal?
Certainly would not want to comment on it.
You've never heard of the Hannibal
Sean,
Directive?
Well, he was afraid to actually talk about the Hannibal Directive. The dude knows about the Hannibal Directive. He just doesn't want to actually admit that the Israeli government kills their own people because it will look bad for the Israeli government. Though you can't trick the Israelis because they already know that Netanyahu and their government is using the hostages as pawns, which is why they're continually protesting against the Israeli government